Reptilian and Crypto Crackhead Nation. Today is Monday, May 31st, pretty early in the day, and y'all about to get timified. Hey, new viewers, this channel does two things. First, I show you how to understand what a statistically probable winning trade looks like, how to get confident with that before you click buy, as opposed to listening to YouTubers talk about things when they have no idea what price action is and what's too high, what's too low, and then you buy it, then it falls on your face. And number two, teach you how to take profits so you don't find yourself too terribly screwed in moments like this when red candles are happening. And I show you specifically with taking profits how to make more crypto with your current crypto instead of just buying more with the monopoly money that your government is printing and your job is handing to you. So, with that said, turn it up to ×2 speed because you new viewers are also about to get timified. And if you enjoyed your timification by the end of the video, go ahead and subscribe. But if you do subscribe, you need to let me know in the comment section whether you want to be a Cryptilian or a Crypto Crackhead. With that said, reminder, turn it up to 2x speed for native English speakers, and let's get going. All right, so this is a general long-term market overview for Bitcoin. Everybody, talking Wyckoff, this and that. Let's talk Bitcoin market as opposed to, guessing Wyckoff stuff. So right now we're looking at the monthly chart. All I have on is the 55 EMA. Okay, so I have the normal EMAs on, and I check everything. So I have the 55, if you want to see it, 55 right there. Exponential moving average, which is found in the indicator section. You can type in this right here, what you're seeing on the screen, and then click 55, check it, and uncheck everything else. Anyway, so that's the chart I'm looking at, and specifically on Bitstamp. So you type in BTC, USD, type in the Bitstamp. That tends to, I think that has more price history than any other. All right, so that's the chart. So this is going to be bearish at first. However, if this bearish news ends up playing out, you're actually going to make a lot more money. You'll have to wait a year for it, but you're going to actually make a lot more money than you would if the bull run continued this year. Hell of a lot more. Let me show you what I'm thinking and why that is. So no other Bitcoin top has had a rounded top outside of one. And it's what happened in 2019 when Bitcoin simply got too hot too fast, wildly hot, way too fast. Similar to how Bitcoin got too hot too fast here, but it was not a rounded top. And so I was thinking, crap, well, what if something like that happened again? Because it's behaving more similarly to what this was. So let's take a look and draw a fractal. So this right here, this candle, I will put as maybe this candle or that candle. So line the top with the top, right? That's all I'm doing. Okay. All right, something like that. And maybe put it up to the next one. Something maybe like that. Yeah, that'll work. All right, so a couple of weird things align. The first is the idea, so it's two things that I've been saying on my channel quite a bit. That fractal, if you make this green candle, all right, align with this green candle here, a couple of things align. Let me see, yeah, about like that. A couple of things that I say on this channel, have said on this channel a lot align. First is the top that I've been looking for is somewhere around 300K. This takes it up to just over 300K. Ignore the time frame. The second thing is that Bitcoin's been moving like an altcoin because it got too hot too fast, and usually only altcoins do that. And one of the most normal corrections of altcoins is to, in a serious correction, is to come down to their prior high. And that's what a lot of coins do. So this fractal meets both of those, oddly enough. If you want to see this, connect that with this. It's kind of scary. Look at that. And then this would only be pushed out 1 year. Instead of December of this year, January 2022, it'd be, December of 2022, January 2023. And it seems to align a little closely with that thought that I had in my previous video where if you haven't seen that video, folks, the thumbnail says party over ? Something like that. That this Wyckoff was clearly an orchestrated structure, an orchestrated event. And the whole thought process is once institutions have more power via moving more Bitcoin than miners, because miners typically created market cycle taps and large sell-offs because they started taking profits in a very orchestrated fashion. They only sold enough Bitcoin throughout the season, throughout the run, to pay overhead. It's monthly costs. Let's say lights or electricity, just labor or whatever they had going on, and they sold all the rest at what they predicted was going to be a cycle top per 4-year cycle theory. And since it's clear that institutions have now taken that power away from them in terms of controlling, I guess, market with amount of Bitcoin that the 4-year cycle would end. And I sort of, in that video, drew some squigglies. Maybe this is the first hump of several humps. And instead of 4-year cycles, you're going to have Bitcoin move in humps instead. So it actually aligns with that as well, oddly enough. Another thing it oddly aligns with is you can't go back this far, even though if you could, I bet it would align if I could extrapolate this a little bit. Check that out. It's about the same color. And strip. These market bottoms have all hit this monthly 55. And so the reason I was thinking, crap, it looks more like this as opposed to 2013. And the reason why I started looking into this month, obviously playing with EMAs and then the fractal, it seems to align really eerily, folks. I don't know, but it's actually a good thing because instead of a quick move up the rest of this year, all right, we're going to have a retracement up. So if you were to be able to like hold tether, sure, it wouldn't be as glorious as it was at the, in late March or something, especially for us Speed Pro folks. Sure, not that glorious, but I promise you, if you could just wait another year, be holding tether here, and not be losing all your money on the way down, because you wait till the retracement up and play defensively there, and you're prepared for this as a possibility. I'm not saying this is going to happen. Then you know that a good potential buyback time is when it tests 20,000 or close to it, somewhere under, in the low 20s. And then the next little top won't be that far away because we're not following 4-year cycles. And this, I'm telling you, would be so much more glorious than this, way more. And you'll be buying way lower because, most of you were not buying down here. Most of you were not buying anything when Bitcoin was around 3,500. You weren't buying, well, pseudo OGs like me were. You weren't buying crypto around here. So had you been buying whatever crypto, Phantom, Cardano, whatever here, that this whole run here would have been way more glorious than what you've known, right? Right? Because most of you were buying like in January and February. It would be so much better to buy here. So this is giving you a chance to buy the equivalent of here shortly, like in a few months, and then experience something way more glorious than what you've already experienced, and you don't have to wait that long. If this bearish pattern, in the mid and short term, midterm sense would play out, that's not much time to wait. You should, honestly, this, something bearish like this, and assuming that the 4-year cycles are not intact anymore, which this supports that theory as well, you should be licking your chops at this opportunity. If you think you made a good amount of money, even though perhaps you didn't sell into Tether at the top, which you never can, so who cares? But if you know at the top, like where your account was the highest, if you think that was good, it will be so much, it'll be like 10 and 20 times higher if you were be able to buy some crypto around there and see this next wave up. So much higher. Because you're not going to be buying freaking here at this candle right there where most of you were buying. Most of you are buying crypto in January and February. That's the year. That's those two candles. You experienced this much glory. That's it. You are potentially about to experience this much glory. So this is the glory scale. This glory hole is much bigger than this glory hole. You got me? We like big glory holes. The holes of glory. Your glory hole is small, new crypto people. Seriously, your glory hole is tiny. This is a big old glory hole. Look at that. That's a big one. What do you want? Big glory holes or small glory holes? Would you wait, extend your excitement 6 months? Oh, you have to wait till December, then the glory begins. Wait for a capitulation candle, getting close to 20K, if this were to play out. And that's not very far out. It's already summer in Northern Hemisphere. I guess not technically. It's not June. The solstice hasn't happened, but it's summer enough, right? Just gotta wait till winter. You're good to go. I don't know. So think of it like that. You want a big glory hole or a small glory hole? Let me show you what it was that led me to look at this, though. I played with some EMAs. Instead of doing the 10, I think I did the 6. And I think I did... Which one did I do? Let me see. I can't remember which one. Nope, it was the 20. So I changed the 10 EMA to the 6 EMA. Now I was trying to compare, what it, I've been trying to compare, mid-cycle tops or major tops or any pretty major top in different ways. And in a lot of ways, this is pretty similar to 2013. But then I started looking at more ways, and I realized, this looks more similar to this. It really does. In a lot of ways, not always. In a lot of ways, this flash crash looks a bit like this. Especially had this flash crash, been with a larger asset, none of this would have existed. It would have been slightly more rounded, right? It would have been. And it had Bitcoin currently been a small cap like it was here, essentially, or a mid cap, it probably would have done some blow-off thing too. So if you could just subtract this blow-off, I guess they are pretty similar, but it wasn't rounded. Could have been, though. And this is the only true rounded major top. There is no other. All right. This looks very similar. And then I realized that the way the weekly, let me get rid of price. The way that the weekly 6 crossed the weekly 21 looks more similar here and here than it does anywhere else. Yeah, that kind of, let me squeeze this. That sort of looks similar, but when you put price on it, doesn't. So what I saw was the way price interacted with these two, not just the red cross and the yellow, but this was super wishy-washy. Up, down, up, down, up, down. So if you zoom into these candles, that was a lot of back and forth. A lot of up and down. See that? Um, and this one had a ton of up and down immediately. I mean, you know, huge crash, huge up, huge crash, huge up, and then it kind of rounded a little bit. But it wasn't a true round. It had a lot of up and downness at the beginning. This just kind of fell through. And this one, you see how there's not so much up and down, not so much crazy. It's not going like this. So this is more of a rounded looking top with two failed retracements up. This one clearly being a bull trap, clearly. So I mean, this price, honestly, that's pure orchestration. People were set up. People were baited to take longs there before the folks with big money were able to put on enough shorts to be happy, and then they sold their Bitcoin in order to make a crap ton of money with the shorts they had taken. Now, this is clearly a trap, orchestrated trap, very planned. This is a more normal failed retracement. That is not necessarily orchestrated. That this is kind of how the human behavior is graphed in markets, but that's a little, yeah, that's not. So, and this was coronavirus dump, but it was still going to dump, folks. I was kind of forecasting 5K, 5.5K here. It just went a little lower in lieu of that. So you see, so how these candles were just chilling. Now, if you go here around the red line, here the candles will just, you know, chilling around the red line, and then it just fell through. It wasn't volatile, up and down, and then fall through. It was just chilling, fall through. Just like this one. And I realized, oh, crap. The only one that did that was this. And so then I flipped to the monthly, started looking at other stuff. Okay? And so if this one does play out, what you can look for is the RSI. If the RSI, you know, ever gets down this low, again, that's probably your bottom. And you can deploy your tether and ride up that big glory hole for a year. Be buying stuff at massive, massive discounts while everybody else is selling and or not buying. That's why the price goes down that low. There's no buy pressure. It's all sell pressure. So there was something on the 2-day that I was seeing too that sort of originally led me. I actually started playing with charts on the 2-day. Oh, that's the 2-hour 10. Come on. And one similarity or a piece of hopium that this is more like 2013, even though it's going to be way more profitable if it's not, honestly. But is the RSI. If you look at the RSI on the 2-day, that 2013 capitulation in the mid bull run went down almost exactly where we are now. However, the first non-capitulation dumps of 2013 also went where? Exactly to this level before a failed retracement, then it hit the level again, then a bull trap, and then capitulation. This was a doozy. Oof. So it also kind of coincides with this potentially playing out because it went to the same level. So I'm not sure if that's hopium. It could go either way. But the thing is, you know, I'm trying to help you folks not bail out in a short crypto winter. All right? Perhaps the earth is just now spinning faster, meaning the seasons go by faster. Crypto winter doesn't have to last 2.5, 3 years anymore. It might be lasting a year at a time, 6 months at a time, 8 months at a time. And things could start moving in waves slowly up, stair step. This whole mania, you know, things going from 5 million market cap to freaking 2 billion when it's brand new. It's like a baby company. Like, I'm not just picking on Cardano. Like, Cardano is one. Pirate Chain did that. A lot of things just went into total manias. Like, these manias ending are going to be okay. Now, will they end immediately? No. That's why this glory hole is going to be so big. Because it'll probably create a mania. But after folks see that things move in waves instead, I think the manias will wane away for the large part. But we'll probably have one more good one here, even in this bearish sense. So that is all the more reason, you know, in terms of your get rich fast type of stuff, just holding coins and just watching it go 50x, 100x, 150x, right? This might be your last shot to see this. And so that should be your ultimate reason to, you know, really want to go play with this last, you know, potential last glory hole here, very glorious glory hole, because it might be your last. So don't just, you know, skip out of crypto because things aren't up forever. Because I promise you, you make more money when things go down, assuming that they will go up at some point. But you make more money in assets that do rise steadily, which Bitcoin obviously is. If you haven't seen all the charts, Bitcoin has been going up more of its lifetime than going down by a mile, more than almost any asset out there. As odd as that sounds, but it's true. And so that this is clearly an asset that goes up over time. So therefore, you make way more money when it goes down. So you can buy it when it's down before it goes up again, right? So you're going to make a lot more money. You just can't have it now, you know? So, you know, just mentally realize the person who wants this bull run to continue at all costs, that's like a kid who can't wait 10 seconds to eat his cake because you're trying to serve 10 kids cake. Say, don't eat it yet, don't eat it yet. Or no, even better, the cake's not even cut. The birthday kid's trying to blow the candle out, and I want cake now, and kid just slaps his hand and then starts grabbing it. Don't be that kid who's like shoving cake in his face when the candle's still lit before happy birthday's even sung, right? Like, that's the mentality that one would have if you're, oh, I'm not a bull market, oh, I'm out of here. You're that kid grabbing the cake, seriously. So don't be that kid. Y'all just got timified.